Let's talk a little bit about how to actually play the perfect Christmas game and what you're going to be doing on your turn. I've got a board set up in front of me where it's just myself and one imaginary opponent here, and we're assuming that we've just finished the setup. So you can see we've each got a Christmas tree and we've each got 5 cards in our hand. Now on every one of your turns, you're going to begin by drawing a card. You can choose from either the Christmas cards or the presents. That choice is totally up to you. I'll go ahead and draw a Christmas card. The next step is that you need to play one card. And that's really all there is to any given turn is draw a card, play a card. Now what does it mean to play a card? You've got a couple options. Christmas cards and presents are played a little bit differently. We will talk about Christmas cards first, but I'll go into more detail on another video. There are many different Christmas card types. This one that's in my hand, for instance, is a decoration. You'll also have Christmas trees, holiday heroes, and Christmas spirit cards. They're all played slightly differently, so we'll talk about those in another video. But essentially, you're just going to play a card from your hand. Decorations are played in your home, and they stay there until they're knocked out of the game. There are other cards I mentioned, like a Christmas spirit card. I've got Christmas Eve. This one, when you read the instructions, says to play it, and it stays on the table for a round, and then it's discarded. So different Christmas cards are played in different ways. You do also have the option to play a present. So what does that mean? Well, and we'll go into this during the presents video, but your Christmas trees and decorations all have those little gift icons at the bottom. When you add those up, the sum of all those cards in your home here, that's going to give you your gift limit. In this case, it's 3. That means that I can lay down up to 3 presents in my home. There are opportunities where you can have more presents in your home than your gift limit would suggest. But what this does is it limits you on any given turn that you cannot play another card from your hand into your home if you're going to exceed your gift limit. So in this case, I've got 3 as my gift limit. I've only got 2 presents in my hand, but I can only play 1 card on my turn. So what I would do is go ahead and play that present face down, and that's now considered an unopened present. Just like you're laying out gifts in your home ahead of Christmas, that's now in your home. It's under your tree here, although you don't have to place it right there. And you are no longer allowed to peek at this card on any given subsequent turn, unless specially instructed to do so by another card. So once it's down, you need to remember what's there in case you need to open a present and you want to pick the right one. Now what else can you do on your turn? Let's say we've gone around and it's my turn again. I've got this present in my home. I would draw a card to start my turn, and now I want to open this present. Now why you would want to do that is a strategic decision. There might be instructions on this card you want to activate, and all you need to do to open that present is just flip it over, read the instructions on the tag at the bottom, perform them, and then throw it in the discard pile. So there's no special action you need to take in order to open a present. Once you've drawn a card to start your turn, you can open a present if you want to. Now, the point of the game is to have the most unopened presents in your home when Christmas morning is played. So it might not seem strategically advantageous to open up all your unopened presents on your turns, but there are times when it makes sense. For instance, if I thought that this present would allow me to, for instance, force my opponent to skip their next turn, it might be worthwhile for me to sacrifice a present in order to get that action performed. So that's one other action you can do. The last action that you can take on your turn will happen very rarely, but if you have no other ability to play a card, you'll have to give a present away to an opponent if you're able to do so. So let's just assume that my Christmas tree has been knocked over. I have no decorations. As you can see, I have no presents in my home to open. And we're just going to assume, for the sake of argument, that I have been prohibited from drawing a Christmas card on my turn. And there's a few cards that would cause that to happen. So let's say my turn starts, not allowed to draw a Christmas card, and I draw a present. Now I have to play a card. I cannot lay down a present because I don't have any of those gift icons associated with Christmas trees or decorations. So I can't play an unopened present. I have no presents to open, but I have to play a card, and I have more than 1 present in my hand. Now, if you have at least 1 present in your hand, or more than 1, and this applies to you, you have to give a present to another player. So I would just choose whichever present I wanted to give away, and I would lay that down in my opponent's home, face down. They can't peek at it, so they don't know what they've been given, and that would conclude my turn. Now, if I had more than 5 cards, I would need to discard down to 5. I don't in this case, so that would be the end of my turn. Now, the last part of your turn is the discard phase. So you can only have 5 cards in your hand at the end of your turn. I'm going to simulate a very quick turn here and show you what we're talking about. Now, you can see I've got my Christmas tree. I've got 1 present already in my home. At the beginning of my turn, let's say I draw a card, and with the 1 card I now need to play, I decide I want to open a present. So I go ahead and do that. I've got roller skates. I'm going to follow the instructions on that tag, perform any actions necessary, discard roller skates, and now I need to count the cards in my hand. Because I didn't get rid of a card during my turn, I just opened a present, I've got 6 left. So I need to choose 1 that's the least advantageous to me, throw that in the discard pile. I'm down to 5, and now it's the next player's turn. Now it's worth pointing out that this only happens on your turn, at the end of your turn. As the round is going, if you have multiple players, you may be asked to draw cards during another player's turn based on the actions they perform or the presents they open, and you can draw those cards. But you only have to discard down to 5 at the end of your turn. So when your turn begins, if other players have been forcing you to draw cards during their turns, your turn might very well start and you've got 10 cards in your hand. When your turn starts, you would go ahead and just play like normal. Draw a card, play a card, and now you would need to discard as many as it takes to get you down to 5. So that is how the discard phase works. And as soon as you're done, it's the next player's turn.